All right, Garrett Johnson here with Aaron Rye. And Aaron, I think about where you're at in your life and your career right now. You're going to go to your first Masters and play at Augusta National. How does that feel?
Yeah, it's a dream come true. Extremely special. Obviously, it's a tournament that a lot of kids would have grown up and idolized, and yeah, to play in one and to just see what it's about and to experience the golf course is definitely a dream come true.
Well, think about your parents. I mean, there's been so much, in my opinion, delayed gratification as they've watched you from a 2-year-old giving you plastic clubs, your dad was telling me, and now to get that chance for them to go and see you at the most famous golf course in the world. How does that feel to almost pay them back or allow them that opportunity?
Yeah, it's an extremely long journey, and so much goes into it from, as you said, parents, family, friends, etc. So to share these experiences with them is incredible. It's amazing for me. I'm sure it's really cool for them as well. I mean, everything combined as a package, playing Augusta, playing a first Masters, but sharing it with them is extremely special.
As your dad mentioned, like certain parts of the course that he's excited about seeing, or certain traditions that he's excited about, being a part of or watching.
I think we really enjoyed just seeing the golf course when me and him went there last week. Obviously, the ambience around the course is extremely special. The drive, experiencing what the club is about as well. But I think the biggest thing that stood out for both me and my dad was just how much of a masterpiece just the golf course is, and experiencing it away from Masters Week, also without the crowds, with the quietness that was around. We stayed there till pretty much sunset on our first day last week, and it's just extremely special. I think sharing that with a golf course and having the quietness and the connection to the golf course without all of the infrastructure, the crowds and the event around, just me, him and our caddy that week was just, it's moments like that I think I really cherish, especially when my dad or my mom are around.
And was that your first time being on property at Augusta? It was last Tuesday?
It was, yeah. I haven't been there to watch it before and hadn't played or practiced there, so it was our first time seeing it.
Was it larger than life in some ways? Like Amen Corner, any surprises there as you watched and looked at the layout?
The biggest surprise for me is a place like Augusta and an event like the Masters. The expectations are so high of what it might be like, what the golf course might be like, and it's very rare to have your in-person experience to live up to how high the expectation was. But the golf course surpassed everything that I ever thought that it could be, in terms of how it played, the design of it, how much you have to think, how endlessly complicated that golf course is. And I know I've only experienced it twice, but you can just see no matter how long you go there for, there'll be things that you pick up every single time you play it. It's an absolute masterpiece of a golf course, and I think that stood out to me more than anything else, that putting all of the history to one side, it's an absolute privilege just to play the course and experience the layout.
Speaking of the history, what's your favorite memory of watching it over the years? Would it be a Tiger winning the first time, or how far back does it go for you?
So I would have watched videos of Tiger winning for the first time in 1997, but didn't have any memories of that live. I think my first memory of him winning was probably in 01, and then obviously the iconic chip. I think that was in 05 on number 16, and then winning the playoff with Chris DeMarco. I think he had a good putt on the extra hole on number 18 in the playoff and gave one of his fist pumps. So I'd say those are probably my earliest memories, and because I grew up in that era of Tiger, it was always Tiger that I would have looked up to and enjoyed watching there.
We're talking about a masterpiece of a course, Augusta National, and of course you got a hole-in-one on all holes at the masterpiece that is Pete Dye's Sawgrass. What does that feel like, the electricity, just to deliver an ace in that kind of environment?
Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, it was more of a surprise than anything else. I wasn't exactly trying to go for the flag. I was just trying to hit it in the middle of the green with a right spin to bring it towards the flag. and I was more concerned about the ball kind of spinning back in the water rather than going into the hole. So I think when it dropped in the hole, it was just a surprise more than anything else. But yeah, an amazing experience. Obviously, incredible atmosphere, and then yeah. I think what I was very mindful of during the whole walk, and even after walking off the green, was just trying to finish off the round extremely well, because 18 is an extremely difficult hole there, and to kind of come off a high of doing that on 17, I was just very mindful of how I approach the next hole and the next tee shot. So I think one of the most pleasing things about that, on top of the ace, was actually playing hole number 18 really well immediately after that.
That's great stuff. Well, lastly, the last question I was going to say, it's just an era of stars. You know, we see Scotty, we see all the big names, Rory. For you, where you're at in your career, and you see that, do you ever feel like you're underestimated with knowing your talent, knowing your game? Is that ever something that you think about?
No, not really. I think we're very fortunate in the modern era with how many great players there are. There are great players in every era, but I think what really stands out even more about this period, with the guys you mentioned, Scotty, Rory, Colin, Xander, etc., they're great people away from the golf course and great role models for all of us on tour, but everyone that watches. And it's a privilege to be a part of this generation and to be competing against those guys, to be playing events like this week. So I really appreciate where I'm at, and just try and focus on doing the things that hopefully lead to my improvement over a long period of time, and then we'll just see how those things stack up, and whatever comes my way, really. But I try not to focus too much on too many things outside of that, really.
Aaron, always appreciate it, and enjoy Augusta and your first time down Magnolia Lane.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Garrett.